So you're driving the cab, and you've been driving a cab for a while, and you're thinking to yourself, well, there must be more to it than this. You're sitting around, you see saturation everywhere across the trade. Everywhere you look, there's cabs passing you by. You're sitting around for a while, no jobs, waiting and waiting and waiting. And that can be soul destroying. So you look on your phone while you're waiting for a job, and you look around Indeed and other job sites, and you see it's there, right in front of your face. Bus driver vacancies available in your area. We will train you, and up to £17 an hour once you're qualified. You like driving, you love driving, you think, yeah, that could be no stress and a guaranteed wage, because as you know, as a cab driver, you're not on a guaranteed wage, and you never know from one day to the next how much you're going to make. So you think to yourself, yeah, guaranteed wage, 17 quid an hour. They'll train me to drive the bus. Happy days, quids in. I can't lose. And really, how hard is it to drive a bus? It's only the length, innit? And the width, the height. That's not hard to drive a bus, surely. It's easy to drive a bus. And for 17 quid an hour, worth doing.
Oh, this could be the life. No insurance to pay, no fuel to pay, and no paying that settle price or rental price for the vehicle. Just driving the bus from A to B. Simple, relaxing, day and night. No drunks to deal with in the car. Just me and the bus, and 17 quid an hour, and nothing to pay out. This could be utopia.
Well, if you watch this channel regular, then you will know. We have Lee on this channel, who's a former bus driver, and he will tell us a different tale why driving a bus may not be the best career option. He's done it for 7 odd years, driven a bus, and he'll tell us now the reasons why maybe you should not take the leap of faith and leave your private hire license and go on and obtain your public service vehicle license. So Lee, moving from the bus to the taxi, let's go right back, because a lot of drivers now are bored of driving cabs. But in your experience of driving a bus, the grass may not be as green as what we all think. How did you first start off on the buses? How did you get your PSV, or was it PCV license?
PSV license.
There we go.
So I passed my test in 2006 after I had enough of being a courier driver on the road. So I travelled the length and breadth of the country in wagons and vans, and just decided that enough was enough. I might as well give bus driving a go. So
a lot of lads watching this now will look at adverts for bus drivers, and they're seeing £17 an hour for a bus driver. You think that is not bad. This job is so inconsistent, but again, you're not fulfilled as a bus. Why?
£17 an hour sounds great.
It
really does. Yeah. When I started, I think it was only on £8, £9 an hour.
Okay.
So back then, listen, it's great driving a bus. It gives you an extra little string on your bow.
Yeah, I
for
think
the
so.
license. But there's just too many. Oh, what's the word I'm looking for?
Regulations?
Yeah, too many regulations. I know that they're there to be implemented, but I think that management don't help out that fact at all and make your life more of a living hell as a bus driver.
So let's go back. Let's go now to an average day on a bus.
Okay.
Like, so let's say you're on middle shift.
Middle shift.
So what time does middle shift start?
Middle shift could usually start for me around about, say, 11, 12 o'clock in the afternoon.
Okay, so when you go into the depot and you have to log in, like you'd log in?
Usually what would happen is I would log into the depot, or where I worked in Southport, it was just a case of logging into the office in East Bank Street.
Okay.
And then I would go and meet my bus on Lord Street.
So you wouldn't go to the depot, you just go...
I'd only go to the depot if the bus was at the depot.
Okay.
And then, so you walk onto the main road.
Yep.
And then the bus will come along.
Yes.
You jump on it. What happens then?
You do a driver transfer. He logs off from his thing. I log on. I get myself all set up with my cash machine, my cash bag. No food or drink allowed in the bus whatsoever.
You can't have a swig of water.
Well, you can take a swig of water, but you have to stop and drink that at bus stops. So,
Right. Okay. Are there cameras on the bus so they can see what you're doing?
there is cameras on the bus to see what you're doing. Yes.
Right,
You
okay.
can't even have an earpiece in.
Right. So then, okay. So then you're on the bus. You're doing your driver transfer.
Yeah.
You start to pull away.
You pull away and you just have a running board, like a time board, which I haven't got on me. But picture something like that, for instance, that size with your running board on. That's the Hackney rates, by the way.
All right. Okay.
If you want to get those in. Now, there you go. I don't know if you can or not.
Yeah, I got them.
Good. But that would be like your running board. So you would have what your shift consists of and where you're going to be coming off before the next person takes over from you.
Right. And you've got to keep to that.
You've got to keep to it.
If you don't keep to it, what happens?
Well, you obviously then get into, like, say, Liverpool City Centre, and if you're like 20 minutes, 25 minutes late getting in, but you should be over your time for coming back, you go and see the inspector. The inspector then would sign it off and would tell you to run out of service back to a certain point on your time board and say, that's where I want you to pick it up from.
So are you in trouble for this?
No, but because you put in a lost mileage form. So the lost mileage would cover you for obviously not being able to pick up the passengers from, say, Liverpool coming back to Southport.
But that's not a bad mark against you.
Not a bad mark against you. The bad marks against you is if anyone gets on with the dodgy ticket. But these days now, obviously, they've all changed since I was there. So, there's like pass machines now, and everybody has to put their thing on the machine to make sure that's all. Don't get me wrong, there was times, call me a bit of a job's worth, but when people's passes were out of date, whether they be young or old, I would have to take the passes off them.
So, like, again, so I'm thinking that's okay, that's not too bad. But where does the stress come into it? Because this cab driving is quite stressful, but it's not that stressful. So where does the stress come into it on the bus?
Try travelling with 72 passengers.
Yeah.
Try keeping it to time. Right. Try having the bus inspectors getting on and basically blaming you for if somebody's pass is out of date, if somebody has the wrong fare, if someone hasn't got off the bus, you're the one who's getting blamed for it all the time.
So if someone gets on the bus with the wrong pass,
yes,
and the inspector gets on and sees this,
yeah,
what happens to you?
You get a disciplinary reaction for it. Possibly suspended. Sorry, do apologise.
It happens every time, doesn't it? So that discipline. So why would you get disciplined for that? Because it's not you. You can't. You can't study everyone's pass when you jump on.
Because let me tell you this now: when you become a bus driver, and if you want to know why there's an unhappy bus driver all the time,
and I see a lot of them with miserable faces,
it's because you're under pressure as soon as you get on that bus until you get off that bus.
Why? Why is it so pressurised?
Because management have you that micromanaged to the point of you've got to do this right, you've got to do that right, you've got to make sure this is done, you've got to make sure that if a passenger falls on your bus, even though there's signs on the bus that says please stay seated until the bus has stopped, and a passenger falls over, you're to blame.
So your job then is not secure?
I wouldn't say it's secure, no. I wouldn't say it's secure. They're literally looking for ways to get you out of the company, which, considering that I think there might be a bus driver shortage, I know there certainly was during the whole COVID time, but, it just doesn't help. I mean, the thing is, let's put this, if your face doesn't fit as well, and you like to speak up, you're in trouble as well.
So you've just got to toe the line.
You've got to toe the line.
But you can't be an individual in a bus
You
company.
can't be an individual.
You can't speak your mind.
No.
So you really feel that when you're driving the bus, you're under pressure driving that bus. You can't relax and just drive it.
My family would see me more stressed out on the buses than me doing the taxis.
Wow. Now you think bus driving, steady wage. Is it a steady wage? It's now £17.
Yeah, it's a steady wage, but obviously you can have a good week on the taxis and knowing, but you've got to put in the hours to do it. But you're your own independent person.
How many hours then a week on the bus could you actually work?
Between 37 and a half hours a week to 40 hours.
You couldn't go and do a 60-hour week on the bus.
You could do, you know what I mean? You get overtime for it, you know what I mean? But then they drop your hours the week after to come in line with the whole, I think it's the European working rule.
So you couldn't do cab hours on a bus?
Oh, God, no. No.
Right. So your income is a bit more controlled on a bus than what it was in the cab.
It was, but you know, it's great at the time when I was earning like £300 odd a week after tax. But go and do the taxis for 2 nights on a Friday and Saturday night, and I'm earning a lot more than £300
with none of the stress.
Well, only a minuscule amount of stress.
Yeah. But you can control your own time.
You can control your own time. You can log off when you want to log off. You can take that break when you want to. You can't do that on the buses.
So anyone watching this video now and are thinking and popping down to Arriva to take, who will put you through your bus license,
yeah,
what would you say to them?
I'd say if you want to go and do it, go and do it, but just be prepared to be so micromanaged that your life will be a living hell.
So basically, don't spend the money on getting a bus license.
No, get a bus license. I mean, because there's other firms out there, different coach companies and everything else. Once you've got your bus license, if you go to Arriva or Stagecoach, I think it's 2 years. Stick there for the 2 years. And then if you're not happy, go to another bus company after that.
But that pressure's going to be there all the time.
But that pressure's going to be there. Well, it depends on which ones you're going with. I don't know what National Express are like. I don't know what...
We know somebody at National Express. Well, used to be Margaret Lloyd at National Express.
She's back at Arriva, though.
Yeah, and she told me a long time ago, at National Express, they called it the Heartbreak Hotel because they're away from home so much that you can't keep a relationship going.
Let's put it like this. I would stick to taxi driving, even though it's the fact that's just my preference though now. But it's always nice that, God forbid, if the taxi world did collapse and everything else, I do have my bus license to fall back on.
But you wouldn't do it now.
But I wouldn't do it now.
Well, there you go. So, and how many years were you a bus driver?
I was a bus driver for just on 7 years.
With 2 companies?
2 companies.
And you would never go back?
And I would never go back.
Well, there you go. That says it all. Thank you, Lee.
So there it is. Suddenly, your freedom's gone. Suddenly, you're no longer in control of your own destiny. Somebody else is telling you what to do and where to be. And as Lee just said, you're in control of that bus and all the people behind you. Any problem, it's down to you. Like in a taxi, there's only maximum 4 people if you're driving a saloon, or 8 if you're driving a minibus. But in the bus, there's up to 75 people sitting behind you. And if one of them trips, as Lee just said, down to you. The inspectors are always watching you like little, I'm not going to say the word Hitlers because I can't say that anymore, can you? But little, dictators who are telling you what to do. So really, is it worth going from the leap of faith? Well, some drivers might, because I wanted to drive National Express coaches at one time until, as I said to Lee, they call it the Heartbreak Hotel because your life's not your own. At least in this job as a cab driver, you are very much in control of yourself and your working routines. Think about it. Is it worth it? Is it worth moving? Some people say yeah. Some people like to be told what to do. Some people don't like the fact that they've got complete freedom. Some people need to be told, you start then, you finish then, you do that, you do this. And that's what they like. They like to be, in that routine and being told what to do. Others don't. I fall in the latter category. I like being my own boss. That's it from this one. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new to the channel and give it the old... And next video coming up, I'm off to Birmingham. I am off to Birmingham to take cash trips on Uber. Ooh, it's on trial now in Birmingham, but will the trial be successful? When I go down there, you'll come with me and you will see for yourself what it's like taking cash trips in Birmingham and whether or not it's a good idea or not to take it nationwide. Because this is a trial, what they're doing now. If this trial takes off and is successful, it will go nationwide. So come with me in Birmingham next video and see how I get on with cash trips. I've done private hire before when it was the race companies, and you got some hairy situations. Are we going back to that situation with taking cash in the car? Well, let's find out when we're in Birmingham. That's the next one. Have a great day and we'll see you again. Bye-bye.